So, many mistakes were made in the making of this video. A lot. So this is why it's on Teams and I'm screen recording the video and then talking over it, because even with the voiceovers I managed to do on Powtoon, I can't get the sound to come through if I screen record it. So that's just one of the many things that went wrong. But overall, the video, I give it a 10 out of 10. So we are gonna see how it goes. It should be fine, but here we are. I'm going to flip through two different videos because I had to split it up since their limit is 3 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and go for it. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Video tape. No, video 1. I'm losing it. Alright, so the subject that I did was restraints and how they're used in schools. So my thesis for this paper was that we need to have clear state laws and procedures in place that guide the use of safe and appropriate restraints in schools, and we need to have federal oversight of those laws and procedures. So there are two different types of restraints that are being used in schools. We have the physical restraints, which is a personal restriction that immobilizes or reduces the ability of a student to move their torso, arms, legs, or head freely, and a mechanical restraint uses a device or an equipment to pretty much just do the same thing. And in 1975, we know that the IDEA was passed, and it was because of the IDEA being passed that students with behavioral disabilities were placed in general education classrooms, and this led to an increase in the use of restraints in schools because a lot of teachers didn't know how else to handle violent behaviors that came up. And then in 2009, we have the Keeping All Students Safe Act. It was introduced to Congress for the first time, and this bill would prohibit schools from restraining children except when absolutely necessary, and it would also provide training for school staff to address challenging behavior with evidence-based proactive strategies. But it failed in the Senate, and it's been introduced every year since. And then in 2012, we have the U.S. Department of Education releasing a resource document about restraint and seclusion, and they released the first federal guidance regarding restraints, which were 15 principles for states to consider when forming their regulations. And to follow up that resource document, in 2016, the Office of Civil Rights offered their guidance on those laws and regulations of the 15 principles. And it was just offering like some clarifications for the states in just a dear colleague type letter. And then our most recent event is in January of 2019, where our Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVoe, announced that the U.S. Department of Education would launch an initiative to address the possible inappropriate use of restraint and seclusion in our nation's schools. So it's a promising initiative, but we haven't had any updates about it since they released that press release about it. Now we're going to go over to video 2. Don't mind my switching. And according to the Civil Rights Data Collection Database, the total reported cases of restraint and seclusion were between 90,000 and 110,000 each school year between the years of 2010 and 2018. So as you can see, there wasn't really a big dip or rise or anything. We've just had pretty much the same amount for 8 years, which is ridiculous. But there's a reason why we have such high numbers. I mean, sure, some of them obviously shouldn't happen, but there are situations that we've seen that we know about where students need to be restrained because it's for the safety of their fellow students, that student themselves, or even the school property around them because behaviors are so violent. And we know that we found that children associate fear, pain, anger, and reactivation of prior trauma with physical restraints. And so children can suffer from both physical injury as well as emotional harm from these negative experiences that they are put through when they are being restrained. And then we see in 2000, Congress passed the Children's Health Act, and this provided strict regulations on the use of restraints in both medical and non-medical facilities where children and youth reside. But despite this gain, children in schools are still left relatively unprotected to the dangers of restraints. And so there's 3 things that need to happen. 1, we need states to pass strict laws and regulations. 2, teachers and administrators need proper training on how to use restraints, but also other ways to avoid using restraints, so other proactive strategies. And 3, there needs to be federal oversight so that accurate data is being reported and that laws are being strictly followed. So this was a really fun paper. I actually really liked writing it, and there was so much more I could have included, but I left it at that. So come on. So yeah, that's restraints for you from me.